Hello, I'm Ellie.
Hello, I'm Martin.
And today we are in the town of Jedburgh on the Scottish borders, and we are at Mary Queen of Scots' house.
We are.
And it's incredibly interesting. So come with us and we'll show you.
Hello.
Mary Queen of Scots' house is a well laid out museum dedicated to the story of Scotland's beloved but tragic queen. It is set in beautiful gardens in the historic town of Jedburgh in the borders on the aptly named Queen Street. Mary is purported to have spent a month here in 1566. It was a turning point in her life, and the fine displays of paintings, objects and textiles that are on display here tell the fascinating story of her life. The house itself is an atmospheric and well-preserved 16th century tower house. The museum is thoughtfully laid out with information boards and interactive displays, and tells the story of Mary's life in a very engaging way. In the Rogues Gallery you can look straight into the eyes of the many characters that featured in Mary's dramatic life. The paintings are lifelike and incredibly colourful, just like their personalities. Many of the objects on display were actually owned by Mary. Other items on display here are completely authentic to the period and integral to her story. You will learn all about her ill-fated ride to Hermitage Castle to meet her future husband James Hepburn, the Earl of Bothwell, which resulted in her becoming gravely ill. A period to which she would famously lament, "Would that I had died in Jedburgh." One of Mary's death masks is displayed here too. It is hauntingly beautiful. The last letter room reveals her final thoughts before her execution at the request of her cousin Queen Elizabeth I. Her famous motto, "In my end is my beginning." The interior of the house is beautiful. It has many wood panels, super creaky floorboards, studded doors and spiral stone staircases, all of which are original to the building. You do need to be careful though, as the doorways, although quite wide, are not very high, and you will, believe me, need to mind your head as you walk around. It's difficult to assess the age of the building, as it has been altered many times over the centuries, but it has some very interesting and characterful features. The main block is 3 stories high, the central wing is 4 stories high. One of the stair turrets is corbelled out over a re-entrant angle, which was not a common architectural feature in 16th century Scotland. A vaulted pend leads to a courtyard, which suggests that there were other buildings attached to it, as there are blocked up doorways in the gable ends. This too explains the pend itself. There is a 17th century heraldic panel above the pend, which features the coats of arms of the Scott family and the Wigmore family, although the Wigmores have no traceable history to this house. The entrance leads to a turnpike stair, which is notably left-handed. The basement is vaulted and the hall on the first floor has a large, impressive original fireplace. It's known that the house belonged to the Scots of Ancram, but the left-handed turnpike stair leads historians to think that at some point the Kerrs may have owned it too. The property passed through several families until it was sold to the Olivers of Edgerton in 1928, who gave the building to Jedburgh. The property was converted to a museum and dedicated to the story of Mary. The house is free to enter and run by volunteers, and you will find donation boxes located in the entrance for the upkeep of the building. It sits in an attractive garden which is now a public park. In the gardens are some of Jedburgh's famous pear trees, descendants of the original pear trees that were planted around Jedburgh in the early 1800s. There is also the Rock of Ages, a 1300-year-old carved stone that was the base of Jedburgh's large Christian high cross. The carvings are extraordinary, and it would have supported a tall pillar and cross. It was probably a preaching cross, where monks would have led open-air services long before Jedburgh's famous abbey was built. There are of course stories of the house being haunted. Mysterious noises have been heard, including the rustling of skirts. There is also the unexplained smell of flowers in the room thought to have been used by Mary during her stay here. All in all, it is a fascinating place to explore if you're interested in medieval history or Mary Queen of Scots, or to admire the unusual architectural features of this well-preserved 16th century house. You can also, of course, simply sit for a while in the beautiful garden watching the birds in the famous Jedburgh pear trees.
Wasn't that interesting?
I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, fabulous history.
Yeah.
I love that period in time anyway.
Yeah. It's well worth a stop off at Jedburgh just to see this.
Yeah. And it's free. It's completely free to enter. They're only open certain days of the week, and but yes, it is absolutely free to enter.
Yeah,
and you can walk around the gardens anytime. It's just sometimes the actual museum is closed, but it's free. Come and do it.
Yeah, and a very helpful young lady on the kiosk.
Yeah, and parking was free as well.
Yeah.
It's a good day out. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for coming along with us, and we'll see you next time.
Hello.
Bye.
Bye.